Remember when Britain's Got Talent was actually about talent? When anyone, and I mean anyone, who could walk on stage and blow your socks off? Yeah, me neither. Once upon a time, 2007 to be exact, Britain's Got Talent exploded onto our screens like a glitter bomb of chaos, cringe, and the occasional stroke of genius. It was messy, unpredictable, and somehow real. A Nan with arthritis could dance, a dog could win, a mobile phone salesman could make the nation cry opera tears. And we loved it, because back then it wasn't about the lighting, or the backstory, or the drone shots. It was about the surprise. But now it's all golden buzzers, pre-produced sob stories, and kids with TikTok deals before they've even sung a note. Somewhere along the way, Britain's Got Talent stopped being a talent show and became a talent product. But before we talk about how it all fell apart, we need to talk about why it worked in the first place. To understand the downfall, we have to go back to the beginning. 2007, the year the chaos officially kicked off. Simon Cowell, already rich beyond belief from making people sing in front of aggressive lighting, decided to branch out. He had just launched America's Got Talent a year earlier in the States, and it was already a chaotic hit. But now it was the UK's turn. Why limit yourself to singers when you can create a whole freak show of talent? Dancers, comedians, magicians, sword swallowers, beatboxers, ventriloquists, juggling grannies. The doors were flung wide open, and that's what made Britain's Got Talent revolutionary. Unlike the X Factor, which was already starting to feel like a conveyor belt of sob stories and Mariah Carey covers, BGT offered pure unpredictability. Anyone could audition, literally anyone. There was no age limit, no strict genre format. You could show up with a tambourine and a dream, and it worked. That very first season gave us Paul Potts, a quiet mobile phone salesman who looked like he'd taken a wrong turn into a spotlight. Then he opened his mouth and sang Nessun Dorma, and the entire country just stopped. One audition turned him from some guy in a suit into an overnight national hero. A week later, he was performing for the Queen. That was the magic. Nobody saw it coming. Then came Susan Boyle 2 years later. Middle-aged, awkward, totally unpolished. The crowd laughed. The judges braced for disaster.
What's the dream?
I'm trying to be a professional singer.
And then she sang I Dreamed a Dream and broke the internet.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
Over 100 million views in under 10 days. Headlines around the world. This wasn't just talent TV. It was a global phenomenon. And that's not even all. We got diversity, a dance troupe that felt like the future. Sharp, fast, poetic, in motion. Their shock win over Susan Boyle proved that BGT wasn't just about big voices. It was about big ideas. We even got a dog, Pudsey, a literal dancing dog. And somehow it wasn't cringe. It was wholesome, joyful. He won. The nation clapped, no notes. But what really made those early seasons special was this. Nothing felt manufactured, no dramatic strings swelling in the background, no golden buzzers, no pre-baked sob stories, just a stage, a mic, and the chance, however small, that you might be about to witness something incredible. The judges were famous, sure, but they weren't the stars. The acts were. The talent was. The surprise was. And the UK public, they were hooked. In 2009 alone, the finale drew over 18 million viewers. That's Super Bowl level attention. People didn't just watch BGT, they believed in it. Back then, Britain's Got Talent wasn't a meme machine. It wasn't a viral factory or a brand. It was a ritual, a celebration of the underdog, a place where anyone, seriously anyone, could go from absolutely nothing to absolutely everything. Somewhere around season 7 or 8, something started to shift. It wasn't obvious at first. The golden buzzer, once a rare, magical moment, began to lose its spark. What used to feel like a career-defining surprise started happening almost every week. Judges hit it like they were pulling a lever at a Vegas slot machine. And just like that, it meant less. The show became shinier, louder, more orchestrated, and the acts suspiciously polished. You'd watch a magician and realize, wait, didn't he do this exact routine on America's Got Talent? Yep, Jonathan Goodwin, escape artist, recycling stunts he'd performed on multiple international stages. Or you'd see a new dance crew, only to find out they flew in from the Philippines or France. In one season, 2 acts had already built careers abroad. Great acts? Sure. But British talent? It slowly stopped feeling like a talent show and started feeling like a talent showcase. The amateurs, or the ones who showed up with nothing but nerves and hope, began to disappear. In their place, acts with agents, choreographers, and verified accounts. Then came the editing. Every audition became a story. Drone shots, slow motion tears, a mum crying in the wings, sad piano keys fading in before the contestant even says a word. You weren't reacting to talent anymore. You were reacting to production. And the audience, they were trained now. They knew exactly when to cry, when to gasp. Like it was part of some televised ritual. Even the judges slipped into scripted roles. Simon, once brutally unpredictable, had softened into brand-safe sarcasm. Amanda became the heart. Alicia, the edge. David was the comic relief until he wasn't. It didn't feel like a panel anymore. It felt like a cast, and the cracks got harder to ignore. Remember the guy with the talking dog?
Okay. And now?
Oh, yes, I want.
Adorable, right? Until animal welfare groups stepped in, raising concerns about hidden cues and earpieces. Turns out it wasn't ventriloquism. It was more like canine karaoke. None of this was random. These weren't isolated incidents. They were signs. Signs that the show wasn't about discovery anymore. It was about engineering the perfect viral moment. They took what used to be unpredictable and gave it a formula. A moment no longer meant to move you live, but designed to trend. Cropped, subtitled, shared with 3 crying emojis and a caption like, "This broke me." And yeah, it worked for a while, but people started to notice. There was a shine to everything now. Too clean, too smooth. Acts didn't just show up, they arrived with lighting cues and a storyline. Judges didn't react, they delivered lines. It wasn't, "What are we going to see tonight?" It became, "Which sob story are we monetizing this week?" The raw energy, the sense that anything could happen, started to fade. What used to catch you off guard now lands exactly where it's supposed to, like an ad you didn't skip fast enough. Britain's Got Talent used to surprise us. Now it just sells us the illusion of surprise. And that, my friends, that's how you lose the magic. We don't even want to be surprised anymore. We want predictable tears, a rehearsed pat on the back, and an emotional crescendo right as the music swells. Britain's Got Talent isn't a talent show. It's a finely tuned tear factory. And the audience, they're not just watching, they're playing along. You could set your watch by the moment Amanda Holden's first tear makes its dramatic descent. Somewhere along the way, we stopped wanting talent. We wanted a feeling, something we could recognize, react to, repost, forget, and move on. The show became less about discovery, more about design. Less about surprise, more about delivering the exact emotion we expected. Simon softens. Amanda weeps. The piano swells. The golden buzzer glows. It's not storytelling, it's emotional choreography.
How amazing was that?
And what we're watching now, it doesn't feel live. It feels like it was written by a machine and edited by a marketing team. Each act arrives prepackaged with tragic voiceovers, dim lighting, and just the right amount of drizzle in their hometown montage. The sob stories aren't subtle anymore. They're full-blown Netflix-ready monologues. One contestant claimed he learned to sing in a cupboard to block out his parents arguing over dishwasher settings. True or not, doesn't matter. It sounds emotional. That's enough, because in this version of BGT, authenticity isn't required. Performance is. A tear by minute 3, a standing ovation by minute 4. Then cue Amanda's trembling lip and the confetti. The judges, characters in a long-running drama. Simon plays the reformed cynic. Amanda delivers her weekly cry. The comic relief drops their one-liner. It doesn't even matter who it is anymore. Their reactions feel less like gut instinct and more like highlighted lines in a script. And the contestants, they don't just audition, they perform the role of an underdog. Trembling voice, misty eyes, a tribute carefully timed to hit just before the first chorus. It's no longer just about talent, it's about hitting the right emotional note before the actual one. Former contestants have confirmed it. Their backstories are reshaped, their emotions directed, their lives compressed into a 3-minute trailer for viral success.
Living in one house, we are one big family.
Nothing is fake, but nothing is untouched. Even the audience has been absorbed into the script. They rise on cue, they gasp in sync, and the camera, it always finds that perfect glistening tear in the third row, like it's been rehearsed. This isn't reality TV, it's reality theater, polished, framed, and ready for shareability. And here's the thing, the internet sees right through it. TikToks now parody BGT's formula with brutal precision.
My dad passed away when I was just 3 years old.
Reddit mocks trauma arcs like it's a drinking game. Meme pages call it Britain's Got Trauma. And honestly, they're not wrong. Even brilliant acts, real, raw, jaw-dropping talent can't break through the noise anymore because it's not about skill, it's about narrative. Not about voice, but vibe. Not about truth, but structure. What used to feel unpredictable, even electric, now feels like a scheduled post with subtitles and a brand deal. Once, Britain's Got Talent felt like anything could happen. Now you already know how it ends. These days, watching Britain's Got Talent feels less like discovering talent and more like watching a marketing strategy unfold in real time. Every gasp, every sob, every shimmer of confetti lands exactly where it's supposed to. Not because it's real, but because it's been engineered to go viral. The talent, still there, but it's buried under layers of edits, lighting cues, and algorithm-ready backstories. We're not watching people perform anymore. We're watching a moment that's been mapped, timed, and tested long before the first note. The magic isn't gone because it disappeared. It's gone because someone replaced it with metrics, with structure, with a question no one used to ask. How viral can we make this? So what's left? Can Britain's Got Talent still be saved, or is the magic too far gone? There was a time when it didn't need slow motion or soft focus. Back then, it wasn't about how perfectly a story was framed. It was about how unexpectedly someone could take your breath away. Paul Potts didn't trend because of a montage. Susan Boyle didn't go viral because of a tragic backstory. Those moments worked because no one saw them coming. Not even the people living them. They were messy, they were imperfect, and that's why they were unforgettable. If there's a way back, maybe it starts there, with less polish, with fewer edits, with permission to let something feel unfiltered. But let's be honest, that's not the world we're in right now. The format isn't the enemy, but when the format becomes the star, the talent disappears. Real doesn't travel as fast as package. Genuine surprise doesn't guarantee engagement. And maybe it's not just the show that changed. Maybe we've changed too. Maybe we've grown too used to being nudged toward emotion, too trained to cry on cue. Still, there's always a chance. That one act, one moment will break through. Not because of a story or a soundtrack, but because it catches us off guard. Because it reminds us what it's like to feel something that wasn't scheduled. And maybe then we'll remember what magic really feels like. Until that happens, we scroll through standing ovations that feel staged, through talent wrapped in timelines, through stories that hit every beat except the truth. But even now, under all the formatting and fine-tuning, somewhere in us, we're still hoping. Not for a golden buzzer, not for a sob story, just for something real. If you enjoyed watching me rip Britain's Got Talent to emotional confetti, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free, it's painless, and unlike a golden buzzer moment, it's actually real. See you in the next breakdown.